Judy of Divina Cucina. Tonight we're going to talk about the Tuscan beans. Florentines are called mangia fagioli, so we'll just wait a couple minutes till I'm starting a little bit early, so we'll just wait. I wanted to have a little announcement today. I've started this Dining with the Diva. It's a closed Facebook group, and so it's for people that are really interested in Tuscan cooking, following my videos and have questions to ask about traditional Tuscan recipes, my cookbook Secrets from My Tuscan Kitchen, my website, recipes on there. So I really wanted a place where I could do questions and answers. And so I've opened up this little site. All you have to do is ask to join, and we'll let you join, and have an announcement at the end of this video, okay? So today, if you saw the video that we did yesterday, all my old videos now are on YouTube, okay? So today I'm going to take the Tuscan beans, which I started yesterday, and yet I made the Zolfini beans. So let me show you that. Ciao, Francesca. I'll come over here closer. These are, you see how nice and tiny these are. These are the Tuscan Zolfini beans. It's probably one of the more rare beans that we have here. Mostly we use the cannellini bean, which you're common with. Ciao, Elsie. We also have a Sorano bean, which is out by Lucca. There's tons of beans out by Lucca. A lot of them, really, that are fabulous. And hi, Christine. Ciao, Patty. And California, and checking in. Florentines have always eaten a lot of beans. And we have beans in soups. We have beans and sausage, beans and tomatoes, beans and salad, and all different kinds of beans. And there's beans all over Italy, from things like the fava beans, which are more of a legume, and the lentils. We have chickpeas. We have really tiny chickpeas. Ciao, Carlo. And these Zolfini are just grown in one little valley out on the way to Arezzo, Terranova Bracciolini. There's this tiny little village where they're really from, kind of in a riverbank area. And they're very, very small, and their skin doesn't really pop open when they cook. And they're beautiful flavors. So I love these beans, even just by themselves. And what's really nice is their bean broth. I have, you can see these are the sage leaves. Sage leaves are in there. A couple whole garlic cloves, extra virgin olive oil, which makes it really nice. Ciao, Claudia. And so today what we're going to do is transform these into one of my favorite recipes. Yesterday we went to the butcher. I don't know if you saw the picture of the sausages hanging on a little ladder. These are fresh sausages that we got that were just made, and they're made with, this farm has their own pigs, and these, I asked him, and he said these were big, he said it's probably a big white pig or pink pig from Maremma, and so they're huge. And he just ground this, and they just have salt and pepper, very simple sausage, no fennel seeds, not a lot of garlic or anything. And yesterday I did a crostini with cheese and stracchino cheese and the sausage. And my husband said he would have liked it if I put double the sausage in. Usually you do equal weight of the sausage and cheese. And so I decided just to make it a little bit lighter, and it would have been nicer with double the sausage. But either way is fine. Hi, a lot of California here. Hi, Emily. Hi, Robin. Happy birthday, thank you. So I'm going to start by just cooking up these sausages, and when they make them, they actually tie them with little string. And you can't see it, but I actually have some sausage hanging things I bought at an antique fair up here. So I'm just going to take these and put them in a little skillet and saute these off. I like to poke little holes in them to let the fat come out. I'm going to do all these. Okay. So I'm just going to take a fork and, ciao merete, and poke a few holes in them, so when they cook, the fat will come out, and that kind of help them cook a little bit faster, and then they'll cook in their own fat. Okay, sometimes I remember seeing people add a little water to the pan too, so they kind of poach a little bit first. And I'm not in a hurry, so we'll just do this. And then when you make this dish, You can just make the bean dish by itself, and it can be vegetarian, or you can, traditionally you serve it with grilled sausage. This is a nice rich tomato sauce. It's called Fagioli al luccioletto because it's supposed to be in the style of how birds were cooked. So what we're going to do is just cover the bottom of my pan with olive oil. I'm going to add a lot of olive oil. Olive oil is our big flavoring, which is really, really nice. Ciao, Margaret. And then the traditional flavors that you would use for a bird are sage and garlic. So if you were going to roast like little quails or anything, we also have a recipe that someone asked if I would do, and I'll probably do this next week. Chicken under a brick, pollo amattoni, where you cook the chicken with sage, garlic, salt, pepper. So again, like for my beans, I'm just going to throw this whole sage branch in here. And I don't know, can you see, these are pretty nice sized sage leaves. You see these. I would, if you don't get fresh, I suppose you could use dry. It probably has a different flavor. I put the, oh, ciao, Louie. I would put the dry ones in probably after I started my tomato sauce. And then I have 2 whole garlic cloves, which I'm going to put in whole so I could take them out. You could also, if you like eating garlic, you could slice them. And then I have my little pecan. I think we talked about these the other day. These tiny little chili peppers, which I really love because I think they have kind of a nice, warm kind of flavor. They don't have a lot of seeds. And the seeds are usually the really spicy part. So I would never do more than 3 of these in here. So I'm going to crush them in. I like spicy, and I think in most countries where they're eating a lot of beans, they do use a lot of chili. I think it helps you digest things. Oh, wow. Hi, Alice? Yeah. A lot of LA people here. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to start to let the oil infuse with garlic, olive oil, chili pepper is another one of our trinities that we really like to use. It's good as a pasta sauce by itself. It's good as a spicy tomato sauce, which would be alla carrettiera, which is a traditional recipe you'd get in a trattoria just for simple spicy tomato sauce. Today, I got some Tuscan canned tomatoes, and they're already broken up into little pieces. So that's called polpa, the polpa of the tomatoes. So you can get a pureed sauce. You can get polpa, which is pieces. I think Pomi also makes this in America. You can get it from America. And then you get the San Marzano tomatoes, or plum tomatoes. San Marzano are specific from a special region near Naples. So I'm just going to, I listen to everything. So I'm just going to listen until I hear all this start to saute. I could probably live on spaghetti with garlic, olive oil, and chili pepper. It's one of my favorite things. Ciao Massimo, come va la pensione? Hi Angela. Okay. So you know, if you have any questions, you could just type them in and I'll see them. So once I get I can start to smell the sage now. Facciamo fagioli al luccioletto con le salsicce, Massimo. Okay, my sage is starting to saute. Sage is really Tuscan. We do chicken breast with fried sage, and you actually eat the fried sage leaves. Here, I would probably take it out because they're going to get kind of just soggy. But when they're actually crisp and fried, ciao Kimberly, we batter fry them and have them as an appetizer. You could do chicken breast with the sage, and the sage gets all crispy and it sticks to the chicken breast, and that's really good. Like today, I'm going to take these out of the beans and throw this away. I don't like that. But the first thing we're going to add to this mixture now is the tomato sauce, okay? I like high heat. So this is a triple bottom pan, so it retains the heat really well. And then what I also did is I rinsed the can with water, and then I'm going to also rinse it out of the dish because I don't want to leave any of that tomato sauce in the can. So now, this already would be a beautiful pasta sauce. Ciao, Angela. Fort Lauderdale. Wow. I think I need to put on my glasses for this, okay? I'd rather be in Toscana, yeah. Ciao, Steve Sando. We're reviewing beans. Our bean boy is here. This is Steve. If you guys know Rancho Gordo, it's one of the best places to get your beans. He has a lot of Mexican beans, and he grows a lot of beans at his ranch up there at Napa. And he's the big bean source. So yesterday we linked to our recipe where we did the pasta fagioli, which is really nice. Ciao, Carol. When are you coming back? So see, these are, can you see they're getting nice and brown now. So these are going to cook mostly in the pan here. I'm going to cook this to let them give off some of their fat too. And then I can finish them in the tomato sauce. So I'm going to crank up the heat again. Let all the flavors start to blend here. So by using the tomato pulp, it's going to be a little faster sauce. And I like having pieces of tomato. I would never just use a tomato sauce. I think having the chunks of tomato makes it a little more rustic and it stands up to the beans. So once my tomato sauce starts to cook, and it's just starting to get hot now, I'll add my beans. So the Zolfini beans came out really, really beautifully. I just left them to cook last night. No pre-soaking. I salted them like the last 10 minutes of cooking time and just left them with their broth. I really love the bean broth. It's one of my favorite things. Let me just take the sage out because it's just kind of wet and soggy. Whenever I cook beans, I like to use a whole big bag of them. So I usually do about a pound at a time. And then, you know, it takes the same amount of time to cook a cup of beans as it does 3 or 4 cups of beans. And so then I'll take them and I'll freeze them and put them in Ziploc bags and put them with their broth. You know, it's really sad getting old because I can't read without my glasses. Montreal, is it raining? Well, a bean crock. Yeah, slow cooking. I love cooking in clay. And at home, remember crock pots? And now we have the Instapot, pressure cookers. So there's people I specialize in all that where if you, pre-soak your beans. I think often in America, like grocery store quality beans, you never know. I'm sure Steve might want to tell us. I think beans are one of those things that can be stored for years. And so the older they are, of course, the drier they're going to be and the longer they're going to take to cook. So a lot of people tell you to pre-soak the beans or to fast boil them, and then drain them and give them like a kickstart. And then people just really never know how long it takes to cook the beans. How many years old, Steve? Let me just look at this. You guys can read this. 8 years old. Wow, yeah. It's like a lot of people, these are my personal opinions, a lot of people that are the chili's getting to me. A lot of people that are gluten-free, I think one of the problems is that the wheat is sprayed to be stored longer, and I think we're allergic to the things that it's sprayed with, not to the actual grain itself. Hi, Alice. Not ours. Yeah, 1-year-old. Here too, I get the stuff in Italy that's from the season before, so it just takes, it doesn't take long to cook. I don't have to, remember to parse, pre-soak them or anything. I always would cook through them the day before. I would never trust beans to try to cook them like the day of the party. I think it's nicer always to have things that are already ready. Hi, Robin. Oh, yeah, isn't that scary? Hi, Mirko. Ciao, Rita. So, the sausages are smelling really good. The tomatoes now are starting to boil. And so I'm going to add the beans, and I'm not going to worry too much about letting some of that liquid go in there because I love the flavor of the broth. But I don't want to make it really soupy. And so I think I've mentioned this before in other recipes, was that when you cook things in tomato sauce, the acidic content of the tomatoes slows down the cooking. So this isn't going to overcook the beans, but the beans will finish cooking in the sauce and give off some of their starch, and make this tomato sauce will then turn into a a creamier kind of sauce. Another trick that I really love is you can take out the sage and puree this and use it as a pasta sauce, and the beans form like the cream in the pasta sauce, which is really nice. There's so many great recipes here for beans. I just saw Jeremiah Towers on everything now, because I guess Anthony Bourdain did that. I guess the movie on Jeremiah Towers. But one of my favorite things with beans was he did a black bean cake in he has the Santa Fe Bar and Grill over in Berkeley, and he took just the beans from the liquid and mashed them, put sage leaves down in a skillet with oil, put the bean patty like on top of it, crisped it, and then flipped it, and that was really a beautiful base. I don't even remember what he served on top of it because I was so blown away by the bean cake, so I make that with white beans. Yeah, 8 years old can't be good. No, it's old, and they're probably sprayed with things so that the animals won't get them while they're in storage. I think we really need to be careful to be picky about what you're going to eat. So commodities and stuff. Okay, Margaret, what did you say? 25 years watching you cook. I'm learning so much. So, yeah, Margaret, we'll see you in May. You're coming in May. So you don't have to do these with sausage. That's chilly. But I think every country has some sort of a pork and beans recipe, which is really fun. So we can, now they're boiling. So we don't add anything else. Like in those Boston baked beans, they have brown sugar and bacon bits of ham hocks or something like that. I like to make the beans vegetarian because I used to be a vegetarian. So no stock, no pork, no bacon, nothing. And if you want to have the pork, it can be on the side. So that's what I like too. When I make a risotto, I don't use chicken stock. I just use water. And I have my ingredients that give me flavors of garlic and olive oil or shallots or onions, saffron, all those sort of things. So I think it's nice to just be attentive for vegetarians or people that have dietary restrictions. So I asked Andrea, because this is going to be Andrea's dinner. Hi, Susie. And I asked him, usually in restaurants, you would get like 2 whole sausages and then in the beans served to you that way. Good ingredients, yeah. Yeah, their own broth, yeah. The broth of this, I would never, ever, ever throw my bean broth away. It's so good. So I'll show you this when it starts to thicken up a little bit. This would also, if I put more of the bean broth in, this would be a beautiful soup. And when Steve and I did the pasta fagioli soup, often people will puree half of the beans and then leave half of the beans whole. And then they cook a little like a macaroni salad kind of pasta, and then they throw it in there, something small that'll fit on a spoon. But I also think it's really nice as a chunky, nice soup, just to leave this whole, the big beans and the tomatoes with the broth, and have a tomato-based soup instead of a bean-based soup. I would even add, this, like I said, this has the chili and the sage infusion, which is really nice. But you could add other flavors in there if you like. So we did the pasta fagioli, which is traditional. It's from the South. They make it like a tomato-based soup in that they puree half the beans and put the other half of the beans in whole. And then in the broth from the beans, they usually put tomato paste. Okay, so it's a really, really thick soup. If you use something like these canned tomatoes and leave the beans whole, it's more of a brothy soup. A little lighter, I think, than the pureed beans in the soup, and I like that a lot. Then one time I did a really nice pork and beans where I did andouille. Do you know what andouille is? It's a specialty from Calabria, from southern Italy, like where the point of the toe is. And what they do, they're famous for their pork products down there. they take the pork fat and mix in chili paste. They're also famous for their chilies down there. And then it's packed like a sausage. And you can add that to things with your chili and pork fat together. Guanciale or pancetta. Yeah, exactly. Same thing. People can add things, but you can't take them out. I know a lot of times people will come to restaurants here and they'll ask somebody if the dish is vegetarian. And they'll go, oh yeah, it's vegetarian. But then they go and serve it and you'll see it has prosciutto or pancetta in it. And they're like, well, yeah, of course. You know, it's like they don't consider, you know, pancetta a meat. It's just one of your basic, beautiful ingredients here. So now my beans are starting to, that last little finishing of the cooking and giving off a little bit of their starch. I'll show you in a minute. Yeah, chili. Another thing, there's a famous restaurateur, Fagioli, who owns Chibreo restaurant, and he does this, where he actually sautés the sausage like ground beef. So he would take it out of the skins and sauté the sausage and just stir it in here. So to me it comes out like a Tuscan chili, which is really, really nice. There's so many ways to do variations on a theme. And I think Francesca was mentioning to me that I don't give portions or I don't know what the word is, serving sizes. But we just kind of know. I mean, I had to give all that up when I came from America, coming here, but no one in my family's Italian. I had to give up being so like anal retentive about, well, how much of this and how much of that, and just kind of let go and learn to cook. And then you kind of learn that, you know, I need 1 or 2 sausages per person for a party, and then you're going to need, like 2 cups of beans, and then you just do the math. So that's why people here usually tend to use scales. So I would know that if I did, a 500-gram bag of beans, it's going to end up to be a kilo, which is 2.2 pounds. And if it's going to be a soup, I would probably use more of it. It's going to be a side dish, maybe less. But people always cook a lot and always like to have leftovers. That's really nice. So this is really getting nice. Now the beans are getting a little red, which is nice, picking up a little bit of that color. I remember when I first learned to cook Italian in America and we had those tomato sauces, they would have been a can of tomatoes, like stewing tomatoes, I guess they call it, a can of tomato paste, tomato sauce, and then like whole tomatoes. But I think that's because in the old days we weren't getting them from Italy and they were really watery tomatoes. And they took forever to cook to get the water out of them. This now, let me see if I can just show you. Can you see how that fog is going to get there? They're kind of soaking up that color. Isn't that lovely? And those chunky bits of tomato, I think that's really pretty in there. So it's a really kind of a no-sweat kind of cooking. Let me just see what Francesca said. So true, letting go. Cook for one, it's a lot easier. Yeah. So normally, after these are all nice and brown, I would just take these and I would just, put them in here and let them cook. So what my husband likes now is that I cut them up. So I'm just going to take the sausages. And if I'm serving it for like a party for a buffet, if you cut them up, I think people take less. So like for part of a buffet dinner or something. See, there's just a tiny little bit of pink left in there. And if I put them in pieces instead of whole sausages, people are going to get more of kind of worry about more of the beans and not so much of getting a whole sausage. And I think it's just a better presentation for parties that they get both of them. And it looks like some of them are falling apart a little bit in the middle, and that'll kind of make it more like a chili. Or maybe I should just taste this one. This is from that guy yesterday. Just salt and pepper. And I don't know if you noticed, but I didn't salt this tomato sauce. Because I think that the pork is going to give off enough flavor from this to flavor the tomato sauce. The beans have salt in them, So you don't really want to over salt. You just salt at the end and taste and see what you needed. I think that's a good ratio. I'm going to put these little bits in. A good ratio of pork and the beans. So now all my juices are going away. And if I find it gets too dry, I can add some more of that bean broth. So I want my sausages now to cook in here too. Let me show you. Can you get that? All that steam is in there so you can't really see. Can you see now? Very nice rustic. This and some nice chunky bread and a beautiful big salad. Something so easy to make. And then what I'm going to do is, from Facebook, I go and I save these onto YouTube. And then on my Dining with the Diva little private page, I'll go in and I'll tag some of the different recipes. Like I put up, there's the oven roasted beans, which are really fun to make. I'll do the classic bean recipe that you could do. The fagioli luccioletto, some of these, I'll link back to where they are on my site so you guys get all you don't have to look for them. And then my present to you guys, we're in my little club, tomorrow, I just, how Facebook brings up memories, okay? Hi, Sharon. Facebook reminded me that in 2009, I had just released my self-published cookbook. I had originally started cooking in 1988 for Syracuse University Study Abroad program. And I would do a once a week for 4-week program, kind of a survival cooking for the students. They would move into these apartments, not speak Italian, not know how to cook or anything. And so I did that from probably 1988 to like 2008, 2009. And what I had done, first I typed them out and photocopied them. And then I started to, I hand wrote them and then photocopied them and had them spiral bound in a book. So let me see who's talking here between each other. Mitzi. Ooh, yeah, yummy. And so I decided the photocopies were actually, this is getting nice and dry now. So I think I'll get a ladle and add a little more of my bean broth to it. I'll just make a nice little stock there. So instead of adding, water or adding more tomato sauce, we have that beautiful bean broth. So anyway, so I decided I wanted to publish my book so that I could have a real version of the book, and also to be able to sell it in the bookstore. There's an English language bookstore in Florence and stuff. And so I wanted to make it as close to as what I had been using for years. So what I did is I created my own handwriting font. Here, I can show you. I created my own handwriting font. This is the book. It's going to be backwards, but okay. So this is my handwriting font. And then I left every other page blank to take notes. And the book is actually stitched together. And it's on really nice paper and like Fabiano watercolor paper. And my girlfriend Angie, who's now in Paris, did this this for me. And this is like the wrought iron work at the Central Market in Florence. And I always had like a little kitchen angel as my symbol. And then another one of my students did this picture of me years ago too. So I wanted it to be just like really personal. And so anyway, Facebook reminded me that it's the anniversary of my cookbook. So I decided, since I'm really enjoying doing these Facebook Lives and cooking with everybody, and I thought it'd be fun to have a place where we could have like a fan club, a cooking club, or just to be able to be more in touch with people and interact and share more information. So I started the Dining with the Diva Facebook. It's closed, but not, you just ask to join, I let you in. And so tomorrow is Saturday, the 22nd, and I've posted this like everywhere. I'm going to give everybody a free copy of the ebook version, okay? So when these recipes come up, you'll have the pages and all the basic recipes. Oh my God. Yeah, I know, I just got a recipe from somebody. So, yeah, Steve and I met in, what, 88? Yeah, I moved there in 84. I met Andrea in 85. And I remember that I met Julia, I think in 85. And so this is just going to let this cook a little more. I don't want the beans to like totally overcook. So this is done. So it's not even, we started about, it's been half an hour and it's done. So if you already have your pre-cooked, hi Cristiano, ciao, come stai? My truffle boy is here, Cristiano Savini. If you guys come to Tuscany, you can go truffle hunting. And a lot of people think that truffles are only in the winter, but they're not. We have truffles all year long in Tuscany. We have different versions of white truffles that are only in winter, but the rest of the year we have black truffles. So the Savini family lives out near, on the way to Pisa, near the Pontedera region. And actually kind of next door neighbors almost to where Andrea Bocelli has his concerts. And we go truffle hunting with them, and then we come back and do a truffle meal, full truffle meal there. It's really fun. And if you can't go truffle hunting, and the Central Market now, they've opened up a restaurant upstairs in the Central Market. They have a restaurant in the Porto Rosso Hotel in Florence. And then they have, I think in Milano now, they have a restaurant too. And in the market in Rome. So nice to have an ebook copy. Yeah. Oh, 2009, Francesca. Fabulous. Yeah, the ebook is great. Because then when you're traveling, you could cook for your friends. I thought that would be great. So normally it's like, I think it's $9.95 or $9.99 or I don't know, something like that. It's under $10 for the ebook version. And so tomorrow it's going to be free for 24 hours. And then I'm going to, if you didn't get in on this, then I'm going to make it like 99 cents for the people that are in my club. If I can figure out how to do this. I went to do something today to tweak it. And I pushed a button that I don't know if I should have. So hopefully tomorrow, when you go to Amazon, it's going to be free for 24 hours. And then after that, it'll go back to its regular price, but the people who are part of my club will get a discounted price always. So you can just write to me and I'll give you the coupon if you don't remember to do it tomorrow. Okay, that's it. These are done. Hi, Deborah. How are you? Let me just put it in a plate so you can see it. Turn that off. Three's the perfect number, right? The Trinity. So here's fagioli all'uccelletto, Tuscan pork and beans. And I would take the sauce, the sage out of here before serving it, because you don't really want anybody to eat wet sage. Okay, let me see. A question here. 1909 at Panzano. Oh, at Gustiamo. Yeah, we had a party at Gustiamo. And I just found out my culinary conference is back in New York in February next year. So I'll probably go to Gustiamo again, have another party at Gustiamo. And then travel and teach around that. So thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all your comments. Please share with all your friends, and I'll see you on the page. If you have any questions, please just write to me and leave me any of your questions. And in the future, what I'm trying to do is I think I'll make, like one day, a question and answer live Facebook, where instead of cooking, we could just talk. And another day, I'll have you share your photographs of your recipes, so we can make like a little cooking club. And plus, I think I'll do some recipes besides Tuscan and that are outside of the recipe book. And then I'll put the recipes on that private Facebook page for us to share. Okay? Ciao. Remember, divinacucina.com is my website. And then on Facebook, if you want to join Dining with the Diva, you'll get in some other secret recipes, okay? Ciao. Thank you very much.